Hello folks, we are back again with another Wuchang update and some other additional news surrounding the game and its post-development progress in general. Now, this update was received a few days ago on the 3rd of August, but I was taking one of only a few ever weekends off from this channel, so you're getting the video today instead. With the update, however, did come some additional information on what we can expect within the very near future, so we're not wasting any time and we are diving right in. Dear players, first, we'd like to start by once again expressing our heartfelt thanks to all players who continue to support Wuchang Fallen Feathers. The feedback we've received so far has proven invaluable to the team, and your enthusiasm and encouragement continue to drive us forward. Today, we bring news on the very minor hotfix which is rolling out as we speak, as well as news on our next major update, 1.5, which our team are working tirelessly on behind the scenes. To ensure the effectiveness and stability of the updates and fixes, we're thoroughly testing everything before releasing it to all players, and as of today, we're aiming to launch patch 1.5 during the week of August 11th. Once we have locked in a concrete date, we'll let you all know. Available now, patch 1.4.1, which is simply just to prepare for the upcoming AMD driver update and the next major patch update too. Coming soon and what we can expect within patch 1.5, see below a detailed rundown on what you can expect in our next major update. Please note that this list is not final, we'll share a complete list once the update has launched. For the features/bug fixes, we have slight adjustments to the invincibility frames during Wuchang's get-up animation after being knocked down. This is to prevent players being punished during the get-up animation and to improve the game's experience at earlier stages of the game. We've sped up Wuchang's healing animation slightly to ensure players have enough time to heal. The recovery animation after drinking can now be cancelled with a dodge, enhancing the strategic element. Made adjustments to animations, values, and level design for certain NPCs and AI. Addressed the issue causing audio playback stutter on certain hardware models. Revised description for some equipment, items, and add/revise certain audio lines. Fixed an issue where certain keys could not be set in the key binding menu, and where some key changes could not be saved after rebinding, such as left shift, left control, or left alt. Fixed the issue where the Buddha statue could disappear from the player's inventory when force quitting the game after it is placed in the Palace Hill of Chapter 1. Fixed an issue with the combo-based Benediction and Jade Pendant not functioning correctly in New Game Plus cycles. Addressed issues with certain terrain that can cause the player to become stuck. Reduced elevator waiting time and fixed the issue within Chapter 5 where the elevator may trap the player at its destination. Reduced impact resistance for some lower level enemies. Fixed an issue where super sampling resolution would apply incorrect parameters when using the higher settings on high-end machines. And there will of course be other minor fixes included. As for the crash fixes, we have fixed an issue where changing screen resolution under certain conditions could cause the game to crash, fixed shader related errors that occurred with certain Nvidia graphics cards, fixed the GPU crash caused by certain semi-transparent assets in extreme scenarios, fixed the crash caused by unnecessary rendering calls in specific scenarios, fixed the crash caused by GPU hangs under specific conditions, fixed the crash that could occur with a certain probability at the end of map loading due to animation blueprint concurrency, and again, there are of course other minor fixes included. Now, very quickly folks, as you can probably tell, we are a humble and somewhat small channel here, which is why I'm very grateful to say that this video is sponsored by Xmod. Xmod is an all-in-one modding tool that includes thousands of free mods, cheats, and trainers for over 5,000 different single-player PC games. Using this, you can quite simply load up any game within Xmod, jumping right in with easy access to all manner of mods, which can be toggled on or off at your own leisure. We do have day one mods for Wuchang, which I'll be using to streamline my own guide making process, but there's all manner of useful features here for your average gamer, as well as a vast array of additional features, the most exciting being this built-in resource map, but there are many others and a selection of community mods, which does receive regular updates. There are thousands of trainers to choose from for practically any game you could ever want to play, and it is absolutely free. So if you would like to get into modding and want all of the hard work done for you, or if you're just curious and don't mind supporting the channel along the way, then I'll leave a sponsored link in the description below, and a huge thank you to Xmod again for making this video possible. Now, I'm sure a lot of players will be happy to hear that the knockdown time is being tuned and made more forgiving, and yes, that would go for myself included. Despite this not being an issue on most bosses, being knocked down against some of the later bosses will most definitely be an insta-kill a lot of the time. We all knew this change was coming, but it is nice that it is confirmed to be landing within the next couple of weeks. The knockdown's partner in crime is also being fixed, which would of course be the time it takes to actually heal within Wuchang. It's sluggish to say the least, and it's definitely number one spot for the hardest Souls-like game to heal in currently. This and the knockdown fixes really can't come any sooner for most players. Of course, outside of the two mentioned fixes, there is also a wealth of additional fixes and quality of life being added, such as the additional keybinds, reduced impact resistance for lesser enemies, as well as the elevated waiting times being reduced. So, to be quite honest, the two major issues and a few more of the more inconvenient issues that have plagued players are all being addressed, which is very reassuring to see, especially only a few weeks after the game's official launch. Receiving these updates and having an outline for future updates is very reminiscent of how Kazan was originally handled, only without a lot of the one-on-one interactions with the developers. It is nice to feel respected and listened to as a gamer, and this is something that is slowly becoming more and more common within the action RPG and Souls-like genre especially, or at least that's what I'm seeing thus far, so of course, that has been very nice to see. Now, this update is scheduled to be dropping the same week as the 11th of August, which would be a Monday, so presumably we can expect the update any day between the 11th and 17th of August, which would be Monday through till Sunday. Of course, the sooner the better, but overall, Sunday the 17th isn't all that far away. What I'll be doing with that following patch notes video is revisiting the Steam charts for Wuchang, as well as taking a brief look at its review score, which we're about to do right now. As I just said, we'll be checking again in a week or so's time, but the last time we checked here, Wuchang did sit at around 42% positive reviews, having clawed its way out of the 34% territory, which did have it listed as overwhelmingly negative before it reached the 40%. To sit at positive, I believe it must reach 60% positive reviews in total, and so far over the past few weeks, it has slowly risen to now 47%, which is very good, and as you can see, despite the thrashing Wuchang took with the negative review bombing, it is slowly making its way into a much better place. Now, this will begin to take longer and longer, especially without any major updates to help build hype for Wuchang. However, for the most part, this game should continue to see more positive reviews than negative, which sounds about right, given the game is now being reviewed on its actual merits and not the initial issues it had with the performance at launch. We'll check again in a few weeks and see how far from the 47% mark we've budged, but I guess we will just have to wait and see. As for the Steam charts themselves, the same exact trend that occurred with Wuchang's launch has very much persisted, of course decreasing with time and overall the 24-hour peak becoming less and less with time. It's likely we will see the odd spike here and there, but I highly doubt anything will ever take Wuchang back up to the original numbers, not unless it has really well-received DLC, which may very well be on the cards. As despite Wuchang's review bombing and its very rocky start, it has now likely sold close to over 1 million copies combined at this point, with it recently being announced that over 600,000 copies have been sold on Steam and over 240,000 copies on PlayStation 5. Xbox numbers are likely to be lower due to Game Pass featuring Wuchang as of day one. However, these numbers are a few days old at this point, and I wouldn't be too surprised if Wuchang has surpassed 1 million copies, or will do very, very soon. Which does mean good things overall for us as a player base. Wuchang could have absolutely hit high numbers had it not have had such a rocky start with its performance and review bombing, but its numbers are still quite good, already surpassing the likes of Kazan, which released over 4 months ago and has likely not sold as many copies as Wuchang already has. And I would be the first to tell you that Kazan is an absolutely fantastic game if you are into fast-paced Souls-likes, so all things considered, Wuchang is looking quite good right now, and we will of course be following along for the coming months or maybe even years, so just come back here whenever you want to know the latest. Anyway, in a nutshell, we'll have the next update no later than August the 17th, which is 2 Sundays away. The update does have our 2 most requested fixes, as well as plenty of other quality of life, bug and performance related fixes, so this one update should be fixing an awful lot. We'll be looking at the numbers and overall attitude surrounding Wuchang again to see if things are progressing for the better or worse, and in the meantime I'll be dropping any other Wuchang related videos I do feel are relevant, whether they be guides or news videos like this one. But that would be it for this one, folks. I do, of course, have a range of guides and news videos on the channel already, so do feel free to stop on by and check things out. Otherwise, thanks for watching, folks, and until next time, peace.